Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the second match of the best of five. Whoever takes three victories would be proceeding on to that grand final. So, what do you think, Peachy? Will we see a comeback coming from the side of Celcius Esports, or will we see utter domination again back from the side of Lafu Kabi?
Highly possible. Both the teams they really want to stay in this tournament. We are tuned in at Eastern Edge Season 2, powered by Indian Gaming Corps. With that, the first ban would be going towards in the hands of Team Lafu Kabi. Maybe we will be seeing those same bans coming again, and maybe some respect bans from Celcius Esports. So I'm curious to know what they are going to go in for.
Well, I think Celsius Esports need to maybe they will ban that Vixana because she was being a complete menace on the battlefield and they do not have that pick, the first pick. So I think they might ban that Vixana. What do you think, Peachy?
Vexana, yes, they should actually ban out the Vexana and even the Lunox because in the last game we did see them creating a maddening effect into the battlefield, which was unavoidable. The how Celsius Esports lost it. With that, the respect ban should be actually pouring in. On the other hand, I really want to see a Hayabusa ban or maybe a Link ban again because right now the first pick would be in the hands of Lafu Kabi, and we all know how they can actually manage to get the Ling as well.
And yes, as you were speaking, Ling has been banned. Well, Ling is a pretty hard to counter assassin. You need that Mensatar, you need the Kufra, you need something like Eudora or Saber to lock down to that Ling because he can literally take down those backlines as we saw in the previous game. I think that Ling was kind of pissed off by that Lancelot or something because I always saw him soloing that Lancelot, especially that moment where we saw that Ling taking down that Lancelot near the base, and then Ling himself getting, shredded to pieces by that Lunox who was ambushing him was a very, very entertaining moment. Don't you think so, BG?
Uh, hi, that is true. We did see a lot of heroes getting obliterated into the match, but on the other hand, they were able to get the damage up. In some team fight, we did see how Lunox was just in the bush. He was trying to get an ambush onto Team Celsius Esports, but he was getting caught by the Jawhead, and since Jawhead who was on the roam with the dire hit and with damage, he was getting slain by that. So that is one of the problem for them. On the other hand, the high lows have been picked out. I think Lafu Kabi, they're going in with the same bans that they did in the last match. There we go. Chip has been banned. High loss has been banned. Maybe a Hayabusa ban at this, or maybe a Edith. What do you think about that, Asia?
Well, we could see an edit ban incoming, but at the same time, Lolita has not been banned. So I truly believe that if an edit has been picked, a Lolita could be a great counter to her. So unless I see a Lolita ban, I never say that an edit will be banned. At the same time, I do not see a Zushin being banned, nor do I see a Zask being banned. And don't you think an Xbog is a hero which requires a ban here?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm actually thinking, this is the last ban coming in from Celsius Esports. So maybe a Hayabusa ban or maybe a Lunox ban right here because Lafu Kabi in the last match, they took up the Lunox as the goal lane and did a very well job. So I think this is the good bans I think that they should be doing. What do you think about that, Asya?
Well, I agree with you, but we just have to wait out and watch what Celsius is planning. Although they have banned that Phobius, and as you predicted, a Hayabusa has been banned. Although he just, he recently received a little bit of nerf. I think Hayabusa still is a hero who can single out the squishy heroes and completely turn the tide of the game. So yeah, a pretty good ban there, but who do you think would be the first pick here? Because so many heroes are open. Julian is open. Teresla is open. So, what are your thoughts, PG?
The first pick look at that Lafu Kabi, they have it. So they went in for a Vexana already. No time wasted. It would be probably wait a minute. Celsius Esports are on the blue side, and I think La Fukabi are on the uh, red side because Neko's queen, as much as I know, no, never mind. Okay, looks like they go in for a Vexana because in the last match we did see how Vexana was the MVP for the team.
Well, yeah, Vexana has been picked up, but I think, if Vexana has been picked up, a trade off with Aurora could be a pretty good option here because we have seen Aurora dominating all the tournaments. She has recently, after the buff she received, the way she can poke her first skill continuously, and with the CCs she provides, she is another brilliant mage to be picked up. But at the same time, we see a Moscow as a priority pick. Although I understand why Teresla has been picked, but why do you think Moscow has been picked up so early into the game?
Moscow, okay, I was not expecting that because we all know Moscow could be counter out with the Harrods since Harrods is still open. I would have loved it how if they could actually played it after the second phase of the ban. But look at that. Moscow in the first pick. I am little skeptical, but let's see how it will go on the hands of team Lafu Kabi. On the other hand, Tesla has been picked. Pretty strong picks coming in. Looks like he will be going in the EXP lane.
Yes, that our Lord has been locked onto. He just received a buff, so he has come back to the meta again, making an entry. And at the same time, we see Lakukabi again going for that grok. Well, still makes sense because that Teresla and that Moscow, they have the stance. So if Grok stays near the wall, he won't be getting all that CC. So yeah, even in the last match, even though I think Grok is not a pretty, popular pick, they still made him a popular and a useful pick. So yeah, I am loving Lafukabi's picks right now, that Vexana and that Arlord followed up by that Grok. But at the same time, Celcius have taken up that X-Borg. Oh my god, I literally fear this hero, the way he can abuse the war axe and the way he can slow with the equipments at the same time. If he gets his immortality, he has almost 4 lives. He is so hard to kill. He can take the squishy heroes, he can just dive in and take that Vexana down. And Vexana can't even do anything about it because he is invincible when he uses his ultimate. So, what do you think, Peachy, who has the better draft as for now?
I'm looking at Team Lafugabi as well. They do have a better draft. Look at that Arlot. They could look at that Grog. They have Vexana as well. They have the CC to themselves. They do have the damage as well. But on the other hand, as they are still not lacking as well. So both the teams are looking strong, but it will all tone down to what skills they have. Because in the last game, we did see how Celsius Esports was getting picked one by one. That is what that we don't want to see again in the match too.
And as I mentioned before, like a Vexana, if she has been picked, and Aurora could be a brilliant pick as a trade off, but Celsius don't prioritize her, and as a result, that Aurora has been banned along with that Edith. Well, both of them are pretty good picks if you ask me. As I said before, unless Lolita has been picked, that Edith is like a monster, and yet Celsius just gave it away. I don't understand. Maybe a marksman pick could have been towards the end and prioritizing, and Aurora could have been a pretty good option here, don't you think, BJ?
That is true, Asuya. I do agree with you, but the bans are all set, and there we go. We did see a Lunox getting banned as well, so it looks like no more gold Lunox coming in. On the other hand, a Nolan has been picked along with a Nolan. It would be a Bruno. Long time no see Bruno. There we go. We are seeing a Bruno in this match. On the other hand, Team Celsius Esports, they are lacking a uh, hyper right now. Maybe I'm looking at maybe a Xbox or probably a alpha hyper coming in because it would be a good hyper.
Well, I agree with you. An Xborg or an Alpha pick could be pretty viable here. At the same time, even Julian is open, and you know that Julian can take down that Bruno. So I am pretty excited to know. But they have instead taken a Lilia for the mage and the mid lane. So yes, as you said, the hyper will be going to the Xborg.
Yes, that is true. So yeah, look at that. Both the teams they have their picks up. What do you think about that? Intense battle coming in from Team Lafu Kabi versus Team Celcius Esports. I am excited to see who will win. Also, Asuya, let us make some quick prediction as well. Who do you think will win this match between Team Lafu Kabi and Team Celcius Esports? Also, Asuya, let us make some quick prediction as well. Who are you rooting for right now? You know, you are looking at both of the teams. They do have their picks up. What do you think, Asuya?
Well, if you ask me, I this time I am a pretty little bit biased towards Lafu Kabi because they have that Nolan who can destroy the squishy hero, especially towards the late game. And judging from the previous game, I see, Lafu Kabi has a better synergy. They have a better team fight potential. Like Celsius had pretty good heroes picks in the last game, but they weren't able to utilize them to the full extent. But I do not know. This is what the three matches are here for PG. Like maybe we can see a comeback coming from the side of Celcius Esports. But yeah, we just need to stay tuned and see what how this match goes.
Yes, that is true, Asuya. So do make sure to like and subscribe and do share it to your friends because this is a match between Team Lafu Kabi on the blue side and we have Celsius Esports on the red side. With that, the damage is all coming in. You know, Bruno, who is a late game hero from the mid game, he could be a potentially a good marksman because we all know how he is going to scale with the items as well as how he is going to get a power spike with the level as well. With that, Moscow would be the one countering him. I'm really not sure how it will be going for them. I was really hoping that they would go in with a Harris, so Moscow would be in a very tight situation because Lafukabi they have the lead, they have this confidence, they have the synergy as you mentioned. Yes, Asuya, they do have the synergy, so it's a plus point for them. On the other hand, the first blood has been taken, and Zozo will be the one taken down in the hands of Xbox.
Well, early into the game, and that Grok doesn't have much he can do to protect that Vexana, so she should have played it safe. I know she was trying to rotate, but she mispositioned, and as a result, the first blood has been given to that X-Borg, and the turtle has spawned. So I see there might be some skirmish going on in the top lane to take that Arlot down because the turtle is right there, ladies and gentlemen. He is still level 3, he's trying to get to level 4, and not much is going on until both the teams get to level 4, but just look at that Terisla. I mean, he is already level 4, and at the same time, the Lilia has also leveled up. So I can see that Bruno getting ganked in the bot lane, and Xbox charging in with his ultimate, and he has taken that Bruno down. But I think at the same time, the turtle will be the Nolan will be taking the turtle because Xbox needs time to arrive. But do you think will Xbox reach back in time? No, he doesn't. And
No, that there you go, the eternal guard has been popped off, but it was a little late. With that, the turtle has been taken in the hands of Nolan. But since they were, I think also yeah, it is a pretty good trade-off. You have taken down the marksman for a turtle. Yes, that is true. You're just shutting down the marksman right from minute two. That is strong coming in from Team Celsius Esports right now. On the other hand, there is some swarming coming in the bot lane while Moscow is playing out safe. This is what I'm loving about Moscow right now because he knows his potential into the late game and he's just waiting it out. On the top lane, there is some 1v1 going on with the Arlot and with the Terisla as well. He Arlot has been dealing so much damage towards the Terisla. It is just not enough because we are in the early game right now and there are no items up.
well, I completely agree with you that Bruno is being completely dominated there. But I think they'll be taking the revenge back. And Matilda goes in, but I think she will be taken down by that Eternal, by Vexana. And even Moscow has to retreat. Oh my god, I was thinking that, Celcius is rotating pretty well, shutting down that Bruno from game one. But I think now Lafu Kabi has taken the first turtle, so now they are just, taking the revenge, dominating that Bruno instead. And I think that Lilia is low in mana, especially also in HP. So Lafu Kabi should just return, and yes, they are recalling back to get their HP back. And at the same time, the turret has also been taken down. Oh my god, they are striking like lightning. Don't you think so, BG?
I do agree with you. So yeah, look at them, Lafu Kabi going crazy. They have been taken just 4 minutes into the game. The turret has been slain. The turret has been taken off from the bot lane. Pretty strong coming in. On the other hand, team Celcius Esports, they are lacking the neutral objectives again in this game too as well. They need to step up. They did step up with their picks, but on the other hand, looks like it will be the Nolan going in with the retribution, securing the turtle. It would be a kill towards that Teresla, and X Ball also getting killed. It is a double kill for the Nolan. Pretty strong.
Well, I did see that Xbox trying to steal that turtle using his ultimate, but I did also see him missing his retribution. So yeah, I think this game too will be taken away by Lafu Kabi. As I said before, their ganking is immaculate. Their synergy is immaculate. They are not letting even one neutral objective or even other objectives like the turtle out of their hand. And I think Nolan will be going in again on that marksman, but Matilda tries to go in but just flies ahead back. I think Celsius needs to, group up and play safe. Don't you think so, Bichi?
That is true. So yeah, for a minute I really thought that Matilda would be the one dying because she was just flying right, in front of Lafu Kabi's turret. But now look at that. The final slash coming in from our Lord would be damaging it. But on the other hand, it is the Matilda with the guiding lights doing its magic, and she is just guiding them towards the safety of her team members.
Well, as I mentioned before, that Vexana is a very dangerous pick because she has that changed CC, and especially when there are a lot of minions around and teams are grouped together, she can deal so much damage. And I think this is a major mistake on the part of Celsius that they didn't pick Aurora and they gave away that Vexana. Just look at her damage there. Even like literally, even that Teresla is getting melted down at this point.
I agree with you, Asuya. Teresa is supposed to be tanky. He's the one who is to be there to dish out damage, to take a, no, how do you say that? Like you're being the front face for your team, so that the team can actually deliver damage to your enemies. That would be the Lafu Kabi right now. Okay, wait a minute. The team fight is starting on. The turtle has been taking the last insanity. He's still doing the magic into the land of dawn, but it won't be doing much with that. Brendan will be getting kill onto the 0-2. On the other hand, Zozo, he will be getting another kill. He's still there. He's still giving up the damage. On the other hand, wait a minute, Matilda is in some kind of trouble. 5 men inside the turret, and there we go. A killing spree for the Nolan.
Oh my god, this is what I was talking about, PG. This is that beautiful gameplay coming from the side of Lafu Kabi, which is always impressing me, Just you saw how well they just went inside the turret all together. Not even a single member died, but that Matilda, she was out of position. And at the same time, I am noticing that Matilda is playing more like, a tank, even though she is a support. At this point early in the game, she doesn't have that much defense. So I think she should be playing safe and she should try to let the teammates to safety, but instead she is just diving into danger herself. Don't you think so, Peachy?
That is true. Matilda should be the one for the face of the team. She is deliver the circling eagle. But she is doing it on the right person. That would be the Nolan. But the stuns are not on point. That is what I'm worried about. Oh, look at that. The flicker play coming in with the ball. It does not connect, but it does give a knock up effect to them. It looks like the circling eagle will be popped up onto the Bruno. With that, the spear of destruction will be missed out. But Nolan, he is going ham. He just took down the Lilia. On the other hand, he is still there, but no, he gets caught out with the penalty zone, and it will be a shutdown for him. On the other hand, Matilda as well as the Teresa are trying to escape it out, but no, it will be the Bruno delivering the punishment for extending the team fight.
And at the same time, I think Moscow has realized that there is no point in the team fights because no one is getting, there is no sustain from their side, even though they have that Tesla, they have that X-Borg. They are not getting the opportunity to deal that damage because Vexana is there terrorizing them, giving that chain CC, so they cannot do anything. So I think the only option left for them is to split push, and Moscow is trying to do this. And as we speak, the Lord has spawned, and I think Lafu Kabi will be taking this Lord. And at the same time, I believe Celcius Esports need to, play it safe and do not contest for this Lord because it's just the first Lord and they can safely defend it. Don't you think so, Peachy?
Yes, that is true. It could be safely defended. I agree with you because, team Lafu Kabi, they do have their turrets up. And on the other hand, team Celcius Esports, they also have their inhibitors up. So I think it will be a easy defend. But on the other hand, team Celcius Esports, they need to get their lord up. They need to try to take it on. But no, it will be the team Lafu Kabi going in with the lord. It will be an uncontested lord. Right now, team Celsius Esports, they are lacking in gold. They are lacking in kills as well. And this is what is enabling, disabling them to not come towards the river area. With that, look at that. Nolan is all farmed up. He did snowball the early game, the mid game, and late game. It is in his hands. With that, the Lilia has been picked off right before the Lord, and another turret from the top lane.
Well, I completely agree with you. Lafu Kabi has the damage. They have the gold at this point, and I think that Xbox will be taken down. His armor hasn't popped out, but he successfully just goes back. As I said before, with that immortality, he has those 4 lives, and he is pretty hard to kill. And at the same time, I think Celsius will defend this lot successfully and Frog going in, but I think it was a major mistake on his part, but he just successfully just goes away. It's like no one has any damage, and even that Lord marching from the top, I think that our Lord is in a bit of precarious position there where they are just retreating. And yeah, the turret is also safe, but I think the mid lane turret will be taken down. What do you think, Peachy?
Possible. Look at that. There we go. Bruno would be the one taking down the mid lane turret because we did see it in a 25% of HP. So that is true how the minions were just pouring in. On the other hand, three of the inhibitors. No, so I'm sorry. Two of the inhibitors have been. So sorry about that. The one inhibitor has been already taken the top, and the pot is still is safe right now, but not for too long because Team Lafu Kabi, they have the lead in the kills and even in gold, and that is enabling them to come inside and actually get a pick off as well. Look at that, our Lord, he is just there in front of their faces of Celcius Esports and telling them that we have the goal lead, we have the kill lead as well. Look at that, and the Eternal Guard has been popped off. It will be taking turret damage right there. On the other hand, Bruno would be the one going in for the turret, pretty strong.
Well, as I said before, giving away that Vexana was the biggest bad thing Celsius could do, because just look at that, they're not getting that window of opportunity to attack, because as soon as they are trying to come ahead, they are trying to dish out some damage, they are just getting CC'd. And along with that damage, when you are grouped together from Vexana's passive, it's literally draining down more than half of the HP bar. So yeah, they just have the option, that is to retreat. Oh my god, that is why you always ban that Vexana, or you just trade her off with an Aurora. Don't you think so, Peachy?
Zozo was the one who played Vexana in the last game, and we did see how he secured the MVP. So I think that respect ban should have come in already, from the side of Team Celcius Esports. But no, it was the Lunox who just got banned, but they traded out a Vexana. On the other hand, Team Lafu Kabi, they have the Lord towards themselves again. This will be the level 2 Lord, and it is a leveled up Lord from the basic Lord. And right now, Team Celsius Esports, they don't have any inhibitors up. So what does that mean, Asoya? It is a trouble for them.
Yes, definitely. It is looking quite troublesome for that. The only way left for them is to split push or either, go behind and take that Vexana down. And I think only, Moscow can do it at this point. After all the, like the tankier people, the one who are CCing, they are ahead engaging. He should sneak up behind and take that Vexana because she has a pretty good positioning there, always behind. Just look at her. And at the same time, the top lane turret has also been taken down, and Lord is also marching in. Celsius trying to defend. I think they will be able to defend, but at the same time, I see them in a precarious position. And look at that ultimate coming from Grok at the same time that Eternal Guard also getting popped off. And I think that Lord will be taken down, and Xbox trying to dish out some
Oh,
damage, and that penalty zone missing from the terrace line. I think the turret will be taken down, ladies and gentlemen. I think this game will also be going to Lafu Kabi, the second game of the match. Oh my god, what a beautiful victory on their part.
oh, welcome back. This was the result for the match to, look at that Lafu Kabi attaining a victory again in the match too. This was a little unbalanced, because Nolan was the one who actually snowballed the early game as well. Look at his KDA 516. This is what the KDA of a Nolan should be, and this is how a Nolan should be there in every single team fight. On the other hand, Asuya, look at that. Even though we had a Moscow, it was a pretty bad for them because Moscow couldn't do much with a KDA of 1, 1, and 1.
Well, I agree with you. Just even look at that Lilia with 041, at Matilda with 04. Well, I think, as I mentioned before, and I will mention it again, that giving away that Vexana was a major mistake, and not picking up an Aurora as a trade off is the major mistake here. And the MVP again is Vexana, ladies and gentlemen. She is the goated mage, and that's why we must ban her or maybe pick her counters. So, yeah. And, ladies and gentlemen, I will be signing off with this game, but don't worry, joining Peachy would be another great caster here, Ray.